Keep It Simple DIY. Today I have more shelf-tember pantry challenge meals, and I'm actually thinking that I might be able to really start pantry challenge the way that I typically would do it. I have not been able to focus hardly any time on pantry challenge this year because we've been doing a big kitchen project. Our fridge died. It's really hard to do a pantry challenge when I'm working between multiple different places and not knowing where my food is. So I've kind of put that on hold a little bit, and I've just been eating through the freezer meals, which is also good because that means we can have another freezer cooking day. But I am getting this started. I am going to be using up the one lone last fish that was in my freezer. And typically when I make fish, I would make it with like Brussels sprouts, but I have zucchini in my fridge, so I'm going to use that. And then I also had some zesty Italian dressing, and I'm just going to make it real simple and pour this over the top. Pantry challenge at its finest. And yes, I did have to go look in quite a few places to find that zesty Italian dressing. I already greased the pan, so I don't have to worry about that. And then I did have a note on here that this is 13 to 15 minutes. So let's just cut up a little bit of zucchini. I'll do zucchini and fish, and then, I don't know, I'll probably snack throughout the night. I also need to figure out what else to do with all this zucchini. I might make some zucchini muffins to freeze, but like I really want to have the fridge first, which the fridge should be coming in 2 days from today. So hopefully we'll have that. I am going to cut out the seedy center because I just don't want to be eating a bunch of seeds, and I'm going to stick it in the trash. If I compost it, it'll grow me a bajillion more zucchinis. And I don't want a bajillion more zucchinis, even if it ends up being next year. So I am just dicing these up. And this is just a really quick, simple dinner, and it's using up the things that I have that I need to use. I'm not doing anything fancy. I mean, this is literally gonna be it. It's just these two things, plus the sauce, and call it a day. Okay. Here's how simple it is. I'm just glugging some over it. I'm not even salt and peppering it. I figure there's plenty of salt. Oh. Maybe I should shake it a little better than I did. So now, this is a little bit frozen from being in the outside fridge. It's pretty new. It's definitely still in date. It's good till February 08. I thought it said February 30th, and I was like, that's not a day. I'm going to mix this a little bit just to make sure they all get covered. And then into the fridge for like 15 minutes, and hopefully the 15 minutes for the fish is long enough for these zucchini to cook. Into the oven. Okay, nothing fancy here, but here's the fish and zucchini. I actually left it in for quite a bit longer than it said to, just because nothing seemed done, but here we are. All right, we're back at it. I am going to be making some cream cheese muffins because I have these 2 blocks of 2 ounces of cream cheese that's been in my freezer. Let's see if I can, I do have it wrapped in paper. Oh, and this is so much liquid. We're just gonna experiment. I am cutting this recipe in half because the recipe calls for 8 ounces of cream cheese and I only have 4, so it actually works. So if it doesn't work out, not much of a loss. And the recipe also called for 2 eggs, and a lot of times you only see 1 egg called for, so that, I lucked out on that too. I don't have to like split an egg in half. And I will make sure to put all of the recipes down below that I'm using. And I know, this is a hot mess. This is just how I cook. So I did take this cream cheese out of the freezer the other day. Oh my gosh, and I meant to put this in there. Well, geez. Because this was going to be my little one for the crumb topping. I don't know if I'm going to be able to mix this whole thing in here, so I think I'm going to have to move it. Let's do it. All right, we're back in business. This recipe does not call for vanilla, but like, why? So, a little vanilla going in. It does call for some vegetable oil. It calls for 1/2 cup. Where did I just add? I added that I'm doing a quarter cup because I'm having the recipe. I'm actually quite excited about these. I was thinking I was hungry and I'm like, let's make muffins. And I can maybe put some in the freezer because I'm wanting to get the freezer stocked back up again soon. Well, you know, once we have a freezer. That's still the other one. Okay, I'm gonna need a half a cup. Double check it. Yep. 2/3 cup milk. So I need 1/3 of a cup of milk, but I'm using milk powder and typically, let's see, I'm just gonna put a little bit of milk powder in and then fill most of the third with water. I don't wanna fill it completely with water because there's already some, I might not even use all of that. There's already some powder, so that adds to it, and the cream cheese was frozen, so I don't know if that'll add a little bit of liquid. So I need 2 teaspoons of baking soda. A cup of sugar is listed twice. That's weird. I don't think I need 2 cups of sugar. That seems like overkill to me. So let me see. I do not need these anymore. Let's put them away. I like to clean as I go, if I can. So let me run, let's see, what else do I not need? I don't need these two. Did I put salt? I didn't put salt. Half a teaspoon of salt. I'm just gonna do half of this one. That's about right. Put these 2 away. Give it a little mix. And then how much flour? We need, it says 3 cups. We're doing a half a recipe, so I only need 1.5 cups of flour. And while I have the flour open, I might as well put flour in this bowl. It says I need a half a cup of flour, so that means that I need a quarter cup. So I have these lines like halfway on my measuring cups. I don't know if you can see it on this one. There's like a line halfway there. So I can easily see like halfway below that line, and that's how I'm measuring. And then I'm gonna actually add the sugar in here too. It says I needed 1 cup of sugar, but I'm doing a half recipe, so I only need a half cup. Now we're good with the flour and sugar. You know, putting everything away as I go is great for, you know, my mindset, keeping the space clean. I really like that. But when it comes to editing the videos, I'm like, why are you doing this to yourself? It's like I have to cut every few seconds because I'm putting something away. I need 1/8 of a cup. That one's hot. Let's see. Half of a cup, quarter of a cup, and this is partly used. So really it's just a couple tablespoons. And a quarter of a cup is 4 tablespoons, so there should be 2 tablespoons that I need. Now I gotta wipe that. And then I think we're almost ready to assemble. Hopefully these taste really good. That's my goal. But it is kind of weird that it wanted softened butter. Usually I feel like crumb toppings want cold butter. That's right. Okay, we've got our topping, we've got our mix, and I've got a cupcake pan, and I'm going to use, I have reusable liners, but I'm going to use these ones that are paper. Also, this batter is, I was thinking it's thick, but then I remembered I'm making muffins, not cupcakes, so that makes sense. That one's a little shy. Well, it looks like we might get 1 more. I might fill some other ones just a little bit more. Now I need to get that butter off of there, get them topped. And the recipe says put them in for 20 minutes, but then a different spot said 24 to 26, so I think we're just putting them in until they're done. Okay, into the oven for, we'll start with 20 minutes. I did let these go for about 26 minutes, and I just checked the insides. They are cooked all the way through. I think it could have used a lot more butter on the crumble portion, but I am going to let these cool off for just a bit, and then I will get them over onto the cooling rack. All right, I'm curious for you guys, how long is just a bit to let them cool before you take them out? Because I took them out like as soon as I turned off the camera. It's been maybe a minute total, but here they are. These look fantastic. Now I know I need to let them cool before I give them a taste test, because otherwise I will burn my mouth. Let's see. It's been maybe 4 minutes, but I think we're okay. If I can touch it and not burn myself, then we're good. They look really good. This is delicious. The crumb on the top is perfect. I'm glad I added vanilla. That's the only thing I did. I did see a comment on Pinterest that somebody added cinnamon into the topping. I think that would be good. I think it's good without too. So here we go, snack time. All right, I am going to be making some barbecue chicken today. I have these diced mangoes, Augustin Farms, that I need to use up, and so I am going to dump them all into here. I'm making a barbecue sauce for this chicken. I did add a little bit of water in here already because these are freeze-dried, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't have too little liquid. So there goes that, and then I'm going to put about a 1/4 cup or so of ketchup. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less, just eyeballing it. Let me tip that over and let it do its thing. And then I'm going to add a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. I did a little less because it's not my favorite. And then Worcestershire, about a tablespoon. I'll probably do a little bit more on this one. And we'll do about a teaspoon of garlic powder and a teaspoon of onion powder. Maybe a little extra on the garlic. Milo. And we need some brown sugar for that. Let's see if we can get the rest of this ketchup in. Let's see. Let's blend this up and see where we think we're at, if we need to add any liquid because of those mangoes, or if we're good. We might actually be okay. All right, let's see. Blend it. Here we go. It looks a little thick to me, but let's see. Yeah, that looks very thick. Also, doesn't have a ton of flavor. So we're gonna add more Worcestershire sauce, a little bit more apple cider vinegar, and then the onion and garlic powder, I think I could go a lot heavier than I did. I don't think it's gonna need any more brown sugar, but we will just wait and see. That is much better this time. Okay. I'm going to scrape all that off of here, and then we will, let's see. Yeah, the chicken's too frozen. I'm just going to keep it in this, actually. I'll just stick it right in the fridge, and we'll have it ready to marinate the chicken when the chicken is a little bit more thawed. All right, this onion has seen better days. I'm hoping I can salvage part of it. All right, I am going to throw these onions into the pan with some oil. On this day, I am making some burgers. I'm actually making onion barbecue burgers. These were absolutely delicious. I did try to talk and film multiple times this day, and it just wasn't working for me. I was really dizzy. I've actually been experiencing a lot of issues with my eustachian tubes in my ears. And so on this day, it was barely all I could do to like cook something, which that was like a big stretch. But we did get this meal made. It was delicious. So I ended up using this onion because I have 2 onions left that are really needing to be used up, and they're sprouting. So for shelftember, I'm really trying to just use up everything and anything that I have. And so I sliced up the onions and got them in the pan. And I actually had the pan on a little too high of heat, but it worked out just fine. The onions looked burned, but they weren't actually burned. Ideally, I would have had them on a little bit lower heat though to begin with. But once I got the burgers in, it was fine because the burgers added a lot of grease. So I actually chose to cook my burgers on top of the onions in this pan. Typically, we grill our burgers, but there's no way I could have been running from the kitchen to the grill and back and forth. And I could have had my husband use the grill, but I just felt like cooking this day because something with my ears that I feel like I can't do anything that I like doing, and I just really wanted to get in the kitchen and feel accomplished. So I put the burgers on. I also had sliced up some cheese, but I made cheeseburgers, put a little bit of store-bought barbecue sauce on top, and we did have some onion rings in our outside freezer that I grabbed and air fried and added those on top of the sandwich. They were absolutely phenomenal. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd love to see you here again, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.